It's an absolute pleasure to welcome Nithya Chandar. Nithya Chandar serves as Assistant Managing Director, India Operations at Purpose Legal. She also leads as the President of Chennai chapter of Iron Lady Women Empowerment Group. She is a seasoned people leader with over nearly 2 decades of HR experience. Nithya's resilience and compassionate leadership reflects in her passionate advocacy for women's empowerment and community building. Her unwavering commitment to excellence makes her a sought after advisor and influencer. Her penchant for handlooms and love for children cannot go unnoticed in her circles. Thank you.
Thank you for.
So, Nithya, I have list of questions for you from Iron Lady community. Are you ready?
I am absolutely ready, and I'm delighted to be in this forum today as a representative of the Chennai chapter of Iron Lady, and very proud to be amidst very powerful women in the community. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Amazing. Thank you, Nithya. And I would say it's incredible to understand your journey. And here's some questions that I would like to ask. Leadership is often said to be lonely at the top. What's your take on that? And how do you navigate it?
I think, see, this is quite true. And at the same time, I wouldn't say true fully. So, because many a times leadership is looked at as something that's away from the people and a layer much above the people. However, I would think that, as long as one remains grounded and has the courage to be one with the people, there's little to worry about loneliness or, any such thing. Because the seasoning you've had as a true leader in the team comes to the, surface only when your role there, is required to be demonstrated. And at that time, there's no need to be lonely. Because if you've done right things at the right time throughout your career, then there's always people that will support you and believe in your leadership. So that's been my stand. There are moments when we feel a little lonely and, afraid. But I think the courage comes from attempting to do what one wants to do despite of those fears and keep going. That's my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, I am sure this is an incredible way of putting it from your experience. And I have seen that too in my journey. Yeah. So, Nithya, what has been one of the toughest challenges you have faced as a senior leader, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, that's a good question and an usual one too. So if, one's career journey as a senior person in the organization or in the industry in itself, it spans for about a couple of decades. And once he gets to see many, many things through the journey, and there are learning experiences day in and out. However, there are some moments that touch your heart and you feel like, you need to think about it every now and then. Um, I have always felt that when people leave my organization, I've had a pang in my heart to let them go because I wish them well and I hope that they land in the right place and in the right opportunity elsewhere in the world outside. However, one of the toughest situations I have faced is when, soon after COVID, we had a right sizing exercise that needed to be done. And that was, to let go of about 25-26% of the team. Just in a single click and a single meeting, we had to take that decision. And I was the front runner in that meeting. And it was, very disheartening to see the known faces that you meet every day, and traveled your, career journey along with, have been let go just at a, over a table, or a dialogue in the table. So sometimes these business decisions come very fast, and you need time to assimilate and execute it professionally well too. So you have to wear your professional heart and be brave enough to execute it in a way that it's beneficial for the people and for the company you're, serving for. So that was a big learning, and I knew what it meant to strengthen up and stand in front of the team that day. That was my biggest moment.
Yeah, that's such a powerful point, I would say, and it's never easy to take tough decisions. And knowing the big picture, it's definitely like, churning to take such definite decisions. Yeah. Thank you for the insight, Nithya.
Thank you so
So,
much.
which Iron Lady principles have shaped your journey and fueled your growth?
Honestly, from the moment I joined Iron Lady once upon a time, I think 4 5 years back, when I landed in Bangalore and I was part of the Shakti Summit, from that moment onwards, there's not been a single dull day. I've never turned back and said, why am I part of the group? I think each day has groomed me immensely, because
Mhm.
I may not know all the principles by heart, but I know each action I'm performing, I'm answerable to my own self. That's the grooming I've received. One of the favorite ones that I always play at work and at home is maximizing. So whatever I'm doing, I feel like I am able to maximize because of the coaching and the mentoring I've received in the group. I also know how to lead with purpose and grace, because many times it's believed that being a woman leader and a senior person in the organization or in a community that you're part of, there's a tad of over smartness, or a little bit of arrogance that people want to showcase just to get things done. But I think I'm
Mhm.
already bred me into thinking that those things are just not at all required, and it's easy to lead with compassion, empathy, and grace very, very assertively, because you are aware of business, decisions. You are aware of how to align the team, and you know how to put right things in the right pockets. By virtue of being exposed to so many other women around you who are much more achievers than you, and who are still grounded and leading a great life. So you derive inspiration from each other and move on. So I think these two things, maximizing and leading with purpose and grace, have been my biggest takeaways from the Iron Lady principles.
Wow. Thanks, Nithya, for sharing that insight. And I couldn't agree more on how helpful journey of Iron Lady through, I mean, being part of Iron Lady and this journey has been. And your points through your personal experiences definitely has a lot of takeaways for most of us. Thank you. And HR often seems as a support function. And how did you break through and align yourself with the core business strategy as an HR leader?
Yeah, this is often a perception, even now in many organizations, that HR is a support function. But I would say now there's a big awareness, because with active HR forums across the country and the global units everywhere, I think that awareness is setting in that HR is the main stakeholder in business growth and development, and all of us have voices in business decisions too, because we bring what is the most important component of a business, and that is alignment of people to the objectives of the business. So if not for HR, I don't see organizations being able to be built on strong grounds of ethics, values, and integrity, inclusiveness. There's so much to the table that HR folks can bring. And I think the generation today is much aware of the value HR brings to the table. In my case, I think I've run my HR system in the company like it's my own baby, because I've not operated out of a book or any rule book that anybody prescribed. I've believed that everything I've done for the people and for the company is what is HR. So I'm a firm believer of creating my own, norms and rules, and doing what is best for every individual in the group. And when we are vocal about presenting these points to the top management and saying, this is where we are coming from, if we do this, this is going to benefit a whole lot of people in the group, and they're going to be motivated to come and contribute as effective business agents to the business. So these I think these are big game changers, and as HR folks, we are allowed and we should take that power to say things voraciously enough that we mean business, and we mean business ethically and with great value systems. That's my take.
Wow, very well said and quite insightful as well. Thank you. Yeah. So I would say, like I would ask next is HR is often seen as a support function. I think this is what we have actually gone through right now, and quite insightful answer on that. How do you sustain your energy and well-being while managing the demands of senior leadership, Nithya?
Yeah, so I think I've had several people ask me why and how I'm able to fit in many things in a day, including my recent obsession about going on speaking sessions, participating in, several HR communities, being part of Iron Lady, and, hanging out with friends, having a good time with my family. See,
Mm-hmm.
these things don't happen overnight. I think it comes by virtue of practice and conscious decisions that you make for yourself. I believe that each woman should put herself first. So when I
Mm-hmm.
put myself first, what gives me happiness? Being engaged through the day from morning to the night I hit the bed. Have I lived a good day? This is the question I go back to bed every day. Have I met a good friend? Have I been able to help somebody? Have I solved a problem for somebody? Have I been with somebody who's having a bad moment? What did I
Mm-hmm.
choose? Attending a wedding or attending a funeral? Did I choose funeral?
Okay.
Because I think that is the decision making that goes into the head. Because I believe there's always people around to take part in celebrations and good things that happen in each other's lives. But I think as a person myself, I have groomed myself to be available for people who need me, who I can support, and also share my vulnerabilities. It's not that I'm always strong and stiff. I have my own vulnerabilities too. I'm pretty open with that and sharing and receiving inputs from people that I believe in. I think that give and take has shaped me very well, because a lot of folks, women folks, my friends, my male colleagues, they're very comfortable talking to me, and they also in turn ask me how I am doing. So I think that is the trust I have earned, and I'm very proud of that. So I want to put myself first and say, this is the choices I make, that I make a day for myself. Thank you so much for asking that.
I think this is really incredible. Uh, I am sure your answer for this, or the value that you have added with this answer, is incredible. And as I understand, reflecting on what choices you have made in a day and how have you added value to your surroundings with your human values, right? So that's what, to put it in crisp. Amazing. Thank you, Nithya, for that insight. What advice would you give to women feeling stuck in the same role for years?
Yes. So, in fact, Archana, I'd be candid with you in saying there are a lot of friends from our community who keep calling and saying, how do you think, I should move forward? I feel stuck, I'm not moving. There's either family pressure or, there's something that you're afraid of stepping outside that comfort zone and making it big for you, qualifying yourself for the outside world, that many of us women feel challenged about. And we are always seeking validation from somebody who's going to come and tell us, you're ready, girl, go for it. So I keep telling them, I've learned it too. I've had somebody say that to me. So I keep telling them one formula, and this was told to me by my CEO, my mentor in the past. So so whenever I asked her, how do you think I'm qualifying for this role? Do you think, I'm ready? How did you make this choice? So whenever I used to ask her that, every time they got me a promotion, she used to say, Nithya, you're never going to be 100% ready. It's going to be 60% you are ready. 40% is always on the job. Nobody is ever 100% ready for any role that comes their way. So I think this fodder I keep on chewing every time. And whenever I interact with other, people around me who ask me this question, I tell women folk especially that you're not going to be ever fully ready. Just jump in. And by practice, by determination, by hard work, by how you're willing to shape yourself, you will eventually do a good job. Because as women, our integrity and our sincerity aspects are very conditioned. We can't deviate rules. We can't do things which men folk find it easier to do. We are not able to do that. And that we should turn to our advantage. So instead of using sincerity as something that's pressing us down, we should use that as a trump card to walk further and say, whatever you give me, I'm able to give you a sincere work product. I'll challenge you that I can bring the best to the table. So if you throw that card on the table in any discussion, and nothing beats authenticity. The way you say things, the way you're coming from, what you have learned in your experience, if you're able to present it, forget jargons, forget frills, forget whatsoever. If you're just honest enough to present yourself as a solid candidate, capable of contributing professionally and as a human being, I don't think the world is going to decline you. It's just a matter of going there and facing that interview. So I would, always strongly recommend that hook or crook, you want to fail or lose, don't worry about the result. If an opportunity knocks the door, don't say no. Just go forward and try it. If you fail, fail fast. That's okay.
Yeah, I think it's a very powerful statement, and yeah, definitely a wonderful takeaway for most of us. And I totally resonate with your point on that, Nithya. Yeah, I think it's been incredibly insightful, especially for the listeners who are aspiring to take a step towards leadership roles. And I couldn't agree more to all the insights and the points that you have shared. Indeed, a great journey that you have, and the great insights that you have shared with all of us. Thanks a lot, Nithya. It's a pleasure having you on our C-Suite series today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity, Archana. I enjoyed answering your questions too. Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, same to you.